Morning, Economic Ninja here. I'm going to be talking today about what's going on with the French government and them implementing price controls. I'm trying to get my phone to just balance here. When it comes to the energy sector, all right? I'm going to talk about how it never works. I'm going to explain that, but it's not just about the EU. It's not about France. It's coming here. It's coming to a country near you in the future. And what I believe is within the next couple of years. So I'm going to talk about how it doesn't work, how to prepare. I'm going to make a little announcement first. Coming back from the Dallas Summit and the Silver Symposium, I learned that it's crazy, and you hear it a lot, but I think, it's hard to say this, but a lot of people are being unsubscribed from the channel. If you have been subscribed before, if you just look down real quick and see if you've been unsubscribed, if you could tap that button again, I would appreciate it. And the reason why is this. As this channel gets to 100,000 subscribers, which I believe is going to happen in the next couple weeks, I'm going to do something so different that you've probably never seen a YouTuber do, and in hopes, and it will, inspire a whole new generation of people. Because I believe what is coming in the next 6 months, for sure, but within the next couple of years, is going to be so trying on so many people's minds, on their spirits. It's going to be hard to get through, and they need some inspiration. And what I'm going to do is change the way I do something, and I want to involve as many people as I can. And every time there's more subscribers on the channel, it actually opens up the algorithm to do something different than it is doing right now. Okay, that's the little thumbs up thing. It means so much because it's been such a blessing to meet all of you guys. But watching how people's lives are changed, not because of me, not because I'm some super smart guy. I get things wrong all the time. But for some reason, this channel is filling a gap that a lot of people needed, information that they needed to hear. All right? So thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for hitting the like button. Now, let's talk about the French government. They're now going to start putting in pricing controls because of this energy crisis that they are in. And they are in an energy crisis. Energy costs are going up 300, 400, 500%. It is getting insane. There is no end in sight, but there will be end in sight. Just so you know, that's the positive thing. When everything goes straight up, it goes as fast as it can straight down too. The problem is we don't know when, right? We try and figure out the seasons in which these things are going to happen. We never know the day or the hour, okay? You follow me? All right. You know what? We got to be, the more information we have, the more knowledge and understanding, the stronger we are. It's like being a rock. I can't help myself. I just love the mug. So they're putting in pricing controls, and it's going to fail. Price controls have always failed all throughout history. This is why. It's very simple to understand once you get it. When a company is making a certain amount of money, right, they are happy. They're making profits. The board of directors gets paid. The executive team gets paid. All the employees are getting paid. They're even able to give them raises, right? When a company is unable to make profits, right, or they are being told what to do by a governmental agency, it, first off, starts to lead to lower profits, right? And I understand what, a lot of people go to, yeah, but they're just making a ton of money because their prices went up. There's a lot of outside factors that affect how a company makes money. It's not just what they're selling the energy for. It's how much did it cost them to acquire, make the energy to sell it, right? So there's a lot of dynamics. When a government steps in and goes, you're not allowed to sell your product for any more than this amount, it does a couple things. It hampers their ability to innovate and grow, right? And then it all of a sudden becomes no fun. Hey, it's no fun all of a sudden. It's no fun being held down with a thumb, right? And companies are ran by a very few people. It takes everybody in a company for the success of the company, but the decisions, the big decisions that affect whether this company lives or dies, is literally held by just a few people. And what people don't understand is that those few people could just wrap up, close up, and leave. And they could go to another country, they could start a new business. They already have the understanding how to do it all, right? And they could literally leave everything behind and they wouldn't lose a dime. Now, they would lose the ability to keep making all that money in the near term, but they understand the ability of being able to grab their money, walk away and do something else. We saw this with Boeing when they were wanting to leave Seattle, the Seattle area, or Washington, because of the amazing amount of taxation and regulations they were being put under, right? We see it with companies all the time. We saw it with Tesla saying, you know, the heck with this. We're leaving California and we're going to be moving into Texas. Why? Fewer regulations, less tax, a whole basket of things. They have more freedom to make more split-second decisions because lack of or less regulation, let's say. So pricing controls always fail because eventually the companies go, the heck with this, we're out, right? Because we're being chokehold or we're not free to make as much money as we want, okay? With all, you know, I know there's lots of people that just go, you know, the heck with them. They, you know, they should go under. They're making too much money. Like, look, it's a free market. You can either buy electricity from them or you can go buy somewhere else, and people go, well, I only have one choice. Cool, you can move. Everything is about freedom of choice, and that's when an economy explodes. When there's choice, the ability to make your own decisions. When all of a sudden entities are hammered down by regulation and taxation, that's when everything goes bad. But it doesn't go bad overnight. And I want you guys to understand that. Now, we're going to start covering this because this is going to be a great learning lesson for so many people here. Why? Because I told you before, and I maintain this. The collapse is going to start in Europe, all right? And then it's going to come here extremely fast when you see full-blown collapse in the EU. And the reason why, the biggest reason why I can explain that it's going to start in the EU is because the EU has, you know, America has states and then the federal government. The federal government still makes X amount of decisions over that, right? But when the EU was formed, you have all of these countries that have their own policies, right? That are vying for making those decisions. And there's a lot of infighting. And the way those politics run is a lot more, much different than, you know, having states' rights and then the federal government over the top printing money for them. It is easier to get embroiled in political and monetary battles in the EU than it is in the US because, you know, the feds can just come in and, you know, there's a problem with one state, they could bail them out. They could just make that decision real easy. Whereas the EU, there could be, it just seems like there's a lot more politics when it comes to the EU because of the way their monetary system is formed. You know, we saw that with Germany in the early 2000s. Germany was a basket case economically. People don't realize that. And they had to sort of be bailed out. And they went through a lot of stuff, I want to say in 2003, 2004. And then all of a sudden, you know, they restructured themselves. And then they were looked at like this shining star in 2014, 2015, when the EU was having all kinds of problems with Greece and all these other countries. And they looked great, but everyone forgot, no, they were actually the ones that were in trouble and they needed help. It's just funny how people don't remember this kind of stuff. So I wanted to share that with you today because this is going to be a great thing to look at, how France does these price controls, because there's, you know, hey, what was the last country I remember going through price controls? It was Venezuela. Yeah, Venezuela went through price controls and had the military sitting on every corner, pretty much regulating the price of toilet paper and things like that. And I want to say that was, if memory serves me right, or maybe it was Argentina. It might have been Argentina. That was about 5 years ago. Well, how'd that work out? So with that being said, I hope you guys got something out of this. It's just a brief overview of government controls and when countries lose control of their inflation rate. And it is coming here. So what are we going to do? We're going to be prepared. We're going to stay out of debt. We're going to get out of debt as much as we can. And we're going to build real wealth. Bitcoin, gold, silver, real estate, have purchasing power off to the side during a deflationary collapse, because you know after deflationary collapse, it always leads to one thing, and that's money printing. Thank you, central banks. With that being said, Ninja's out.